современницы.
Radio Matryoshka. Невероятная.
С Юлией Атласовой.
Дамы и господа, с вами Юлия Атласова и «Невероятная на матрешке». Необыкновенная история обыкновенных женщин от мечты до Dream Lifestyle. И сегодня у нас специальный английский выпуск программы, посвященный Международному женскому дню. And my incredible heroine today is Princess Tessy of Luxembourg. Tessy, your life must be amazing, fabulous, all the balls, receptions, luxury travel, living in a castle maybe. Is that the case, or am I talking conventional wisdom?
I think you have all of it as well, but as a modern woman in the world nowadays, we also do live our own lives, our own everyday lives. As mothers, a lot of my fellow princesses, we work as well, and I do work. And so, you have the balls, you have the nice receptions, but you do have also everyday life, being a mother, working.
As any other woman out there.
Exactly.
And you've got all your ups and downs, and you've got your blue moods, and you've got your inspirations, and it changes day in and day out, depending on what you're going through and what's on your agenda. So what's on your agenda these days?
So on my agenda, besides being the mother of the most fabulous two little young boys, 11 and 13, Gabriel and Noah, I do work a lot in social entrepreneurship and for social causes. I'm a UNAIDS ambassador for young girls and adolescent women since almost 4 years, where I travel around the world and raise awareness of HIV/AIDS, even in developing countries, but also in Europe, and help policymakers of adjusting the policies to fit the needs of people affected with HIV/AIDS, but also for prevention measures for young people who are growing up in our society today. Then, other than that, I have my NGO, Professors Without Borders, which I'm very proud. I launched it 4 years ago as well, with two of my friends, and we work in 8 regions now around the world.
So what is it about? What this organization is about? Professors Without Borders.
Yes.
Yeah?
So we try to reverse the brain drain, where we really bring quality education, quality teachers from all walks of life as well, experts, to teach classes in developing countries. Because we do believe that everyone should have quality education and it should be affordable. Ours is free because we believe if young people can take the time in their holidays to come in summer school and have the classes with us, which are 2 weeks, intense, 6 hours a day. Summer schools, they need to take exams, they need to do the different works we make them do in order to get the certifications. And if they are willing to give their time, which is, in my opinion, the most valuable commodity you have, then we also can give our skills to come and make time for them.
Yeah, because time is life, and what we do on a daily basis is we spend our time, hence we spend our life. Exactly. And what we spend it on depends on what's close to our heart.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just the family, sometimes it's career, but I think it's very important, and I support you fully on that, to give back to the community, especially when you are kind of more privileged than other people.
Yes.
And I think rather than just thinking about yourself and your family, which is, I guess, the priority for the majority, you also think about other children and giving them an opportunity to do something amazing in their life. And then when they are grown up, they will remember you in your charity work and they will join, and then it will basically be passed from generation to generation. And as they say, to change the world, just change something small in your life. And if this thing will be done by every single person, then this will become a much more beautiful place.
Exactly. So yesterday, for example, I spoke at 3 different companies about the work I do, because I have my own consultancy as well. And that was exactly the main framework I wanted to get across, is that you should start, if you want to do something in life, you should always start with the small details, because through the small, it's like putting a drop in the water. Only like that the wave starts, the energy, the movement starts. But you need that first drop. And so I always say to young people, especially when I mentor them, do not be too ambitious by saying, oh, I'm going to reach the thousands of people tomorrow, because then you already set yourself up to fail. Start with one person at a time, in detail, whatever you would like to do with your life, and then see where it goes. you have the learning with it, you meet incredible people, and it's just really about, this, as you say, the small details and what you
maybe
make
just
with it.
help your younger sister or older sister, maybe
Yes.
help your best friend, or maybe help somebody at school who's been bullied, for
Yes.
example, which happens thoroughly, unfortunately, and in every country and on
Exactly.
every level. It doesn't mean that, say, school somewhere suburban or somewhere on the outskirts of, say, London will be yes full of bullying and expensive school won't be. No, it's
Yes.
not the case as far as I understand.
No, it is really, I think bullying applies to everyone, sadly. I think it's a global epidemic, in my opinion. I have experienced it when I got married.
Have you?
My family was suffering greatly when I became the Princess of Luxembourg. And the same after almost 13 years of marriage, we decided to get divorced. So I will be divorcing soon. And that as well, the same, the bullying that happened with it was really, really sad to see. We have seen it with the Duchess of Sussex. She has been bullied all over the world through social media. And I think it is really to each and every one of us who use social media, we have a responsibility to be the game changer in how social media and how also the World Wide Web is being used as a tool of positive dialogue, as a tool of empowerment, as a tool of inspiration, rather than as a tool where trolls or people who have obviously mental issues or have problems with insecurities can hide behind a screen and are not made accountable for the words they write. I think it's important with bullying that at the same time we raise awareness that it's not about freedom of speech, but it is about, I truly believe everyone should say what they want to say, but you need to be respectful in how you say it, because that makes a difference. That makes a difference and crosses the line between freedom of speech and bullying.
Yeah, because you're very right. They're hiding behind the screens,
Yes.
and mental illnesses or mental issues, they can happen to everyone,
Yes.
to anyone. Today you're fine, and tomorrow you can have a panic attack, or something can stress you out that much so you can't go outside from your own home. And unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know if it's the majority of bullying, but whenever it's a marriage or divorce, the woman is to blame for some reason, unless there isn't like a vivid, obvious reason that man cheated or man done something wrong. But if it's just, well, sometimes you just drifted apart, sometimes something happens, or people vice versa fall in love and get married.
Yeah.
Why the woman is bullied? Why not the man?
I think historically that is what we have always seen. If a woman gets divorced, or the man, whoever chooses, it is always the woman because she must be ungrateful, or she must have been a bad wife, or, the man is always being portrayed as that strong man. If a man has 10 women, he's a great guy. If a
He's a
woman
cool
would do the
guy.
same,
He's a
if
goer.
Yeah, exactly, he's the guy, the
Yeah.
cool dude. But if a woman would do the same, then you know what would be the consequence of that reputation. And I think nowadays, still today, we're living under these stereotypes that, there must be something wrong because in the past that is as it has been portrayed. And obviously people, they like to keep everything behind closed doors. And within that, obviously, it is normal that when you are in the public eye, that you become under scrutiny.
It's impossible
Because
these days.
people don't know. And obviously, well, as I already said to other women yesterday, because it's obviously International Women's Week, it is, you choose your battles. And for me personally, to give you an example of that, I became under scrutiny because of my marriage, of the things I do, whatever I say, whatever I do, it's never good enough. But what I have learned is that it will never be good enough for everyone. That you cannot please everyone all the time. It's impossible. But I learned that if I please myself first, and if I please the people around me, i.e. that are important to me, my children, my family, and my close friends, and the causes I care about, that is all that matters. Because in the world we have billions of people. You cannot please everyone, and it will destroy you. If that is your aim, your life goal, you will fail. So it is really about looking at the scale of what makes you happy in your own community and the people around you, which should be the driving force of everything you do, and also of everything that makes you happy besides yourself.
And the more you succeed in life, the more you become on the public eye, and the more people are watching you under the basically microscope.
Yes.
And if you're beautiful, if you're smart, if you're successful, and you're a princess in your case, that's enough. What, 4 or 5 reasons to hate you? Basically based on nothing, but because you are who you are, and people compare themselves and their lives to your life without knowing a thing about that you have to go through, they become angry and revengey for no reason.
I think hate, I wouldn't say it like this, but Instagram is a really good example. We have these amazing people on Instagram. I have an Instagram myself, and I love using it as a window to kind of give people an opportunity to express themselves, and I do the same. But Instagram is also, just because you see my pictures, that does not reflect my life entirely. It reflects maybe 0.5% of my day.
You only show what you want to show.
Exactly. Instagram,
what you want to share.
Exactly. We want to, it's really about the good, the positive, the inspirational, because, all of the other things, I share that with the people that are close to me. I don't need an audience for that. But, I think social media, again, and everything I do, it should be a tool to empower and inspire and nothing else. And for people that are not happy with my work, that's okay too. I as I said before, you can't please everyone. And at the same time, not pleasing people also pushes me at the same time to become better every day. Because no one is perfect, and I do my mistakes as well. And with that, we just try every day our best, one day at a time.
Your Royal Highness, Princess of Luxembourg, or shall I just call you Tessy?
Just call me Tessy.
Okay, then Tessy. Love it, love it. Love you being grounded, love you being absolutely normal and talking to you. I feel that you are as much of a woman as I am. You're not higher, you don't wear the crown, and you're just being a friend. And it's absolutely a pleasure to be talking to you.
Thank you.
To know
Same.
that you are supporting the same causes as other women do in the UN, for example. Can you talk more about your UN work?
Yes, I will talk about my UN work, but I will also talk about, just for 1 second, about what you just said. I think, a title doesn't make you who you are. Nowadays, it is really about what you do. Because I see often that the old-fashioned traditional way of who is your father, what is your name, and then we see if we work with you. I get that, and in traditional societies we still have that today. But however, I think in the 21st century, we should be moving on institution-wise and in all walks of life, to really accept people for who they are and what they do.
And what they have achieved.
Exactly, for their own merits, their own education, their drive, their work, and their ambitions. Because, nowadays...
And their personality.
Exactly.
You can be a queen or a king. If you have
Exactly.
not nice personality, then people won't like you. They will probably treat you and they will do all this etiquette,
Yes.
knickstens and whatever else, but they will never feel for you as a person.
Yes, just for me personally, I have been married in the royal family for 13 years. I know it really well, it's half of my life. I'm 33 now. And what I have realized is that I have met people of all walks of life, and some of them had a title, but they were not royal at heart at all for me. I was not impressed, and I actually thought some of them were really rude and not very nice to people. While I met as well other people, the cleaner of a bathroom, for example, of an event I went, and that woman was just so beautiful, and I took a moment to speak to her, and it came out that she was actually working in an NGO as well. She was doing all of these social projects. Her children are doing, just incredible woman. And she was working there because she was trying to get some extra money to put her child through high school, through college. And I think it's just, you cannot judge a cover by its book. And in the 21st century, that could not be more true. It's really about take the time to get to know someone before you judge someone because of a name. Because it is very likely very misleading to do that. And you're missing out.
You're missing out.
Beautiful
Definitely.
things you learn.
Meeting
Exactly.
beautiful people. And you've mentioned that you've been part of royal family for over 13 years. and many would think it must be so much easier to live being member of royal family, being a princess, and you're a foreign princess in London. So I guess people think, oh, her life is just, she gets whatever she wants just by having a title. Is that correct? Does it help to be a royalty in London to live easier life or better life?
Well, I think in London, a fun fact, I think there was a statistic that came out that I read somewhere, that in London there's the most amount of princesses than in the entire world on a square foot.
No way.
Which is really funny. There's quite a few of us here. But at the same time...
Every woman is a princess.
Exactly, I think that's exactly that. At the same time, everyone is really, I think, royal at heart, as long as your drive and the work you do match, something good. That, and then also, well, life, as a royal or not, in London,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter at all.
It's world capital, and there are all sorts of people
Exactly.
here doing all sorts of things. And
Exactly.
but maybe on day-to-day basis, like I don't know, renting a car or going to a restaurant, like booking a table in a restaurant that is pre-booked, I don't know, months in advance. Does it help to be a princess when you call or your assistant calls and say, "Oh, I'm actually booking a table for such and such"?
Yes. Well, on the car thing, that is it's a good example. I had a few years ago. You wouldn't believe it. It was the oddest experience I have experienced with my title. I tried to get a car to rent cars, and like a normal, like Six or whatever it was, I don't remember what the company was, and they refused my membership application because they said that with my name they wouldn't have an insurance that would cover that, and so I was left behind by not being able to rent a car because of my name, which is very odd. I would have never thought about it. But so that was a fun fact as a personal experience.
So you have to basically borrow a car from your friend, and they have to put you in their insurance or something. Or you have to drive very carefully.
Exactly. No. Exactly. It's what you said in the first. Because I don't use a car in London.
Oh, you don't need a car in London.
Exactly. I love walking here, and I love taking the train as well. And my kids love it because at home they don't have that. In Luxembourg, you need a car because everything is just
I
so
think
far
everywhere
removed.
else, apart from London, I think you need a car. Like
Yes.
even other world capitals like Paris, like Milan, for example,
Exactly.
you need a car there. But probably London and probably New York, where you don't, like in Manhattan area,
Yeah.
you don't need a car.
Exactly. No, I think that's what I like about London as well. You could just walk around the street and see all of these amazing people, and you wouldn't even know who they are, because everyone is just walking everywhere. People from all walks of life take the tube. No, it's nice, it's convenient. Also in London, if you take the car, you're in traffic for I don't know how long. And so if I use the car in London, I now ask friends of mine and they put me on their insurance for the day. And that's only in emergencies, like for example yesterday, as it comes. My son called and he's in boarding school and he wasn't feeling well and he just needed a cuddle from mama. And what did I do? I called a friend. I said, can I have your car for 3 hours just to go quickly to see him? And that is how we did it. And yeah, it's a hassle because the friends need to call the insurance and so on. So I would have preferred having a membership card. But it is just the way it is.
So you're basically facing the same, let's call them problems, the same
Yes.
things on daily basis, but they're slightly different again because of your title. But again, you don't feel like you are any different from other people around you. And in London, I love this city for many reasons, and one of them is if you feel lonely or if you feel like getting advice just on anything like shopping or just ask somebody, you can stop any person on the street. You can talk to the person next to you on the train. You can start talking to somebody in a cafe or a restaurant, and people are willing to help. People are willing to give you an advice or an opinion, and you can feel and you can see that it's genuine.
Yes,
And
exactly.
this is huge
It's quite
difference,
safe.
I think, from
It's quite safe here.
It's very safe.
And also,
yes.
exactly, I get lost all the time in the streets. So I do ask as well for, like this morning as well, when I went for another meeting that I was doing for my consultancy. In the street, I was a little bit confused. I looked, I thought, is it that one? And the man literally stopped and he said, oh, are you lost? And I said, I don't think so. I am, but I'm I think I need to go that way. And I went that way and it was fine, but it was just that sheer joy of someone actually taking the time, seeing that I was a little bit confused.
And you're very
And
beautiful
offering
as well.
offers
I
himself.
Yes, I think that you probably had a little
that is very
agenda.
kind of you. Thank you. But it was just really sweet. I think in London you're very secure. Even you have all of these knife crimes now in the newspapers and everything, and all of these horrible things happening in London as well. But I think that does not reflect everyday life in London.
It doesn't.
I do think,
Yes.
and I do think this is the right city for my children to grow up in.
So London is home for you now.
It is here and Luxembourg. Obviously, Luxembourg is where my heart is. I love Luxembourg. It's where my family is. I do a lot of work in Luxembourg as well. My ex-husband lives there. So for me, Luxembourg is very important. But London is where my everyday life is, where my company is, where my NGO is, where my 2 babies go to school, where my friends are, and where my girlfriends are. So yeah, London is my everyday home.
You know, I've seen this selfie you took of yourself on your social media, on Instagram,
Yes.
and you look all this beautiful hair, beautiful smile, and a
Thank
beautiful
you.
ring with big blue stone on that finger. And you,
Oh yeah, it's this one.
it's this one, yes.
Yes.
And the story behind it, okay, wait for it. Basically, I was just like, oh my gosh, is she getting engaged? And then the title says, I said yes, and I went like, yes, she's definitely getting engaged. And then suddenly, I said yes to myself, to my soul and my body, to my strengths and to my weaknesses. So what was it? Was it just an inspirational post you wanted to share because it's International Women's Week, or because it's something close to your heart and because you've been through some experiences when you've been weak, but you had to be strong for yourself and for your children?
I think it's both. It is because of International Women's Week. It's always nice to remind yourself the woman you are, but it's always nice to remind as well your followers and the people that believe in you that you need to put yourself first. If you are not well, then all of the rest will not be perfect. And I personally am not okay with okay. It needs to be perfect. Everything I do, it needs to be in detail. I need to be happy with it.
And you do it yourself.
Yes.
You're not cornering people. You
No.
just do whatever you choose to have in your life, you do it yourself.
Exactly. Because I need to live with it. And what I like with the ring, with the post, because obviously everyone was like, oh my God, she's getting engaged, really? Because, and I said, no. I said, read the capture. It's really about, yourself.
Celebrating
Self-love.
yourself, celebrating
Yes.
woman.
Exactly, because a woman, and that is also in the 21st century important to understand, a woman doesn't need a man to be happy, to be successful, to have her life. But what a woman needs, what a man as well needs, is herself or himself first. Their own respect to her own body and soul. And I just wanted to put that out there, that I too had a way where I was lost at some point. I was very, very ill when I got divorced. I was very anxious and sad and depressed. I lost 16 kilograms. It was a terrible moment. And I was not connected to my body. And what I realized is that I need to get myself back first before doing anything else. And that's what I did. And so this ring is just kind of like a gift to myself, to remind myself when I look at it.
And a symbol of self-love.
Exactly, that I love
You can
myself.
only love the world when
Yes.
you can love yourself. Without
Exactly.
having self-love, you can't share love because you don't have it
Yes.
within you.
Yes, you can share it, but it will not be full. It will not be complete. And so I think if you do share something, whatever it is, however small it is, it should be the best of you. Because at the end of the day, why would you do it any other way?
We are praising women today because it's not only International Women's Week, but because we are women. And every girl, big or small, princess or not, dreams about true love. And you've been in love, and you had beautiful family and beautiful marriage for over 13 years. And then something happened. Something happened and it changed your life. And you've been through very hard divorce and all that. And as you've mentioned, you've lost 16 kilograms of weight because of the stress. And just maybe let us know what helped you to go through that difficult time of your life. What was there to keep you going?
Yes. Well, what I really seen, and I would definitely, if I find the right man, I will get married again. Being married was really wonderful because you
So
share.
you're not completely like, no, I will never get married
No,
again.
absolutely
So you still
not.
believe in
Yes,
love.
I do believe in love every day because I think love is the only thing that keeps you going every day. A person needs to be loved, and that is why we separated as well, because love changes, and sometimes you just grow apart. What happened to us, and that is also what I told my children, my two sons, because obviously for them as children it is difficult to understand. Why does my papa not like my mama anymore? What has happened? Or it's scary.
Yes, because for them, they
because
were
it's for
born
them it's a unit.
with two people
Exactly.
looking after them, loving each
Yes.
other, and then suddenly, for them, it's the only life they know. And then suddenly, being teenagers, and they are at their early teenage, and they completely out of their mind, thinking like, maybe we've done something wrong.
Yes.
That actually happens with children. They blame
Absolutely.
themselves.
We had that conversation as well at the beginning. They were blaming it on themselves. Then we had a phase as well where they were crying a lot and they said, we want Mama and Papa to be back together. It's absolutely normal. What, as a responsibility for their father and me was important is to tell them that love changes. I will always be grateful to their father because he gave me them. He helped me raise them, and they are amazing people. And I said to them, you're going to see your dad whenever you like. When they're with me, they live mostly with me. I'm their main caretaker. So when they're with me and they miss him and they cry, I say, hey, should we call Papa? Let's call him with the camera. I would not put a wall between that. I might, as we've grown ups, we have our problems with each other, as everyone else, in circumstances like that. But that should never, our own egos and our own hurt, should never create a hurt or an ego or confusion for other people, and especially for children. Children should never be put in the middle of a fight between grown-ups. Never, under any circumstances. And that for me was my priority in the divorce. That's why we were already separated for a while, but we only, almost a year after being separated, that's when we made it public. Because that's when our kids were ready to face the public. Because obviously it was all over the world and in the press. But my kids were safe, they felt confident about it, they understood it, and they had no problem with it anymore. So there was no space to be confused, to because of the confusion, get angry, sad, disembalanced, depressed. All of these other factors that come if a child is not ready. If a child doesn't understand, these are all the side factors that happen. And we have addressed all of that. They went to see a psychologist, as did we. And I'm not shy to say that. It's important.
No, you shouldn't be.
Exactly. It's important that you see someone.
It's very different. It's very hard process in many people's life these days. Unfortunately,
it's like
or fortunately, because 13 years is a long period of time. And
it's like someone
being
died.
in your shoes, I would
Exactly.
be also grateful for having that, because some people don't even get that even once in their lives. And you've had that.
Mm-hmm.
You've had absolutely beautiful marriage, and
Yes.
you had beautiful wedding, you've been completely in love, you've been young,
Yes.
and just you've built family together, and you've got two healthy, smart, beautiful children.
Yes.
These are the things to be grateful for already.
Absolutely.
And then yes, divorce is hard, especially when children are involved, or financial situation
Yes.
needs to be resolved, and etc. Because unfortunately, some people become so uncivilized to each other and so dramatic.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some women and men, they not only lose their financial stability, they sometimes lose children, as in to one another.
Yeah.
They prohibit the other partner to see
Yes.
them. Why? Why doing that?
Well,
Whatever happens between two adults, children have
Exactly.
nothing to do with that. It's not their fault.
I have it with other girlfriends and boyfriends as well when they talk about their divorces, because obviously in the 21st century 50% of
It
marriages
happens
will
often,
divorce.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
that's why I always say don't judge, because you or someone you very close to you will be the next one.
Yeah.
So
It
it's
can happen to anyone.
But the thing is, it is really about, I have couples, they really use their children in the middle.
As a tool.
Oh yes, and the children. Oh, I have one case where a young girl, she's in between her parents, and the mother, she uses her entirely to make the father pay for nothing, but just
As in
because-
financially.
No, just pay.
Emotionally
Yes,
so.
yes, because the father is a good father, and the mother is also a good mother. But the mother, she wanted to play games with him all the time, and he at some point said, "Stop! I am done now." And now she makes it really difficult with the child. She says a lot of bad things to the child. So the child, each time, well, I don't see them all the time, but each time we talk about it, he then says it's each time 3, even 4 days every holiday that she takes time to come back to be herself again. At the beginning she has tantrums, screams, says I hate you, I wish you were dead, like all of these things. And thank goodness, touch wood, I have no problems with my children of any kind of that. Nor would I say anything or initiate anything like that to make my ex-husband's life a living hell. But when I see that just breaks my heart, because these young people will grow up to be adults who will be incapable, or it will be very difficult for them to lead also a proper relationship, because they never had it. They never had that security of themselves. Because when your parents are unstable, the children will just, well, they grow up. It's like when you wash a baby, okay? The baby lays down and it just this, right? When it gets cold, when you put it in a towel, it's a normal reflection of a baby. Well, that is how the child feels inside him or her when this happens. They are just, what will happen next? What will happen next? Who will leave now? Who will get hurt now?
Who will fight?
Where
now?
will I go? What happens to me? Is it me? You know, because all of these things have not been resolved or explained.
When they don't, yes,
So it's a
when
problem.
children don't understand what's going on, they blame themselves because this
Yes.
is the only thing they know
Yes,
to blame.
exactly.
And I've been talking to this friend of mine. She's a very smart woman. She's a diplomat as well. And what she does, she's teaching women, at the moment just women, but maybe in the future it will be both parents, as in men and women, about how to be a parent. She says that giving birth to a child, 2 children, 5 children, doesn't make you a parent.
Exactly.
It
It's
just
true.
makes you a baby-making creature,
Yeah.
basically, as silly as it sounds. But to be a parent, you need to know much more. You need to know how to speak to your child. You need to know what to tell to your child. You need to know how to deal with difficult situations in the child's life or in your life when it happens, and how
But
to
also respect the
safeguard your
child as an
respect
own
the child,
human being.
yeah, and safeguard the
Yes.
child from the grown-up problems, because they will have their life later. They
Yes.
will face their own problems
Yes.
later.
I always say a child is only borrowed by the higher self. It's not ours to keep. Something that really struck with me is that you have your child 16 summers. After that, it will always be your child. And it gives me goosebumps thinking
Oh,
about
me
it, because
too.
my son is 13, so. But after that, they will do their own life. They don't want to hang out with mama and papa in the summer. They want to see their friends. They want to travel. They want to do their own thing.
Oh, they will come back later.
They
say.
will.
When
but
they are
it's
closer to
just
30 and after
exactly.
30, they will
But
come
it's
back
the
to you,
first
yeah.
rupture then, when they are in that age time, when your baby's not a baby anymore, and when they leave the nest. And so I always say, please enjoy your child as much as you can. Be there for the child, because it's not going to be long. 16 summers is nothing.
And time flies.
It flies. Thinking about my son being 13 in a week. Yes, in a week. And he just got his braces, and he's very good looking. But it's incredible. He has in school, he has these socials where they go to girls' school. He's in an all-boys school. And they do formal dinner with women, one side, and then they dance with the girl.
Oh, sweet.
And it's just beautiful to see that, he's growing up.
You you're not just a princess, but you're a very beautiful and smart and successful woman who knows what she wants and knows how to achieve it. Was it always like that, or you've learned to be a strong, independent woman over the years, over time?
I think everyone grows up the way they grow up. I have always been kind of like a tomboy. So very, very...
Lots of energy.
Yeah, lots of energy and lots of
male friends.
Lots of male friends. I was in the military for 6 years.
Amazing.
And all of these other things. So I was a little bit always out of the ordinary. Grew up as a daughter of a politician, so I grew up already in the public eye. But obviously over the years, especially as well with the military career and everything I did, I really grew up to be a person who is not afraid to say what is right. As well, of course, as we said before, I would never be rude about it. If someone does something bad, I would never point them out.
You're a diplomat, and being a daughter of a politician, you learn to be a diplomat from a very young age.
But there's many ways of how you can make people understand that what they're doing is not right. It's morally and ethically wrong, or it hurts people. So there's so many ways of just speaking to people in a way, because also when you tell someone off, there's straight away a negative barrier, and they will oppose you, whatever you would say, because they feel attacked. And no human being wants to be attacked in any way, because at the end of the day, we all want to do our best and be seen to be a good person. I do not know anyone at all, actually, who does the things they do because they want to be a bad person. So I think we all try our best, and as such, I always look through a specific lens. I don't judge, because
so you've been brought up that way, or you've been watching your parents, your mom and your dad, and they're your first role models in life?
I think it's a bit of both. My parents were very busy when I was young. My father had a roofing company, and at the same time he was doing politics. And my mom was a home mom, but she was also doing other things. So I didn't see my parents very much when I was young. I grew up on a farm every weekend and every holiday, so I had my own cow, was driving a tractor with my twin brother.
Driving a tractor?
Yes, it was fantastic.
Can you still drive a tractor?
Yes, I can.
Oh no!
I started driving a tractor, of course, with the farmer next to me, and it was on the field, so everything was safe, when I was 8. And I loved it. It was absolutely an amazing time. When the cow was calving, having a baby cow, I was there, and I was giving the bottles to the baby cow. Like, I grew up very down to earth, very connected to earth as well. And as such, we have our role models as everyone does, but you learn by doing. So I think the things I'm doing now and the way I am, it's just by experiencing it. Because also, the fine-tuning of how you are with people and how you interact with people and how you do the things you do, I needed to learn it too. Because I also went into a pitfall as well from time to time, or said something which was inappropriate. But not because I wanted it, but just because I didn't know any better at that time, and I needed to learn the reaction of the other person, that it was not nice what I did. And then I knew, okay, I'm not going to do that next time again. Because at the end of the day, we're all different people, and you can't know what another person thinks in their heads, or what another person likes and dislikes, because everything is really personal to yourself. So there's some things that come up, but always go with the lens that it is not willingly done, and then you see the world in a much more positive and constructive way. That's how I do it.
Because you learn from your mistakes, from your experiences, and from the people who you choose to be around you, in your circles, your friends, your family, your cousins probably, and obviously your parents and teachers at school. They say that being beautiful is enough to be successful, to be happy, to be loved, and that beautiful people, hence beautiful women, they don't need to do much to achieve what they want to achieve. Is that a right statement or not?
No, I don't think so at all. I think looks have nothing to do with how successful a person is at all. I think everyone is beautiful, because it creates a diversity we need in society to make a society diverse, constructive, growing as well. Because I met amazingly beautiful people, as well as that I thought were beautiful, and then I met other people, that were just normal, like not out of the ordinary of a magazine or something like that. And I think all of them, they're just all really incredibly beautiful, because they the things they did shined out the beauty from inside. I met as well people who were beauty queens, but the conversation we had was not very inspiring. Like I was not very driven by the conversation. So I think it is really, as I said already before, you cannot judge a book by its cover. Beauty doesn't mean anything because beauty fades.
But what about love? What about being loved? I think, and it's not just my opinion, and I'm trying to bring across some like public opinions, that being a beauty queen, as you mentioned, or just a beautiful woman, it helps to be loved by many men, but you've got many admirers, everybody's trying to get a drop of your attention. But is that correct again? Is that a correct statement? Or you only need love of one person or two people in your life, and all that public love, you actually don't need it?
I think, again with love, you need to love yourself first. If you have, you will have your admirers and you will have people who don't like you. That should be secondary at all times. I had, when my divorce happened, for example, I didn't feel very much loved. It really broke me inside to realize that. For me, the persons close to me, that is the love I need. My love, obviously, but also the people around me that I trust. And that in that specific instant, I didn't feel that love. And it broke me. I became very anxious. I was lost. I was dying. I was literally dying inside me because I didn't feel that love. It's like putting water on a flower. I was dying as a flower because I didn't have that water anymore that I needed to keep going. That the shoulder I needed to feel secure and trusted and as a woman as well.
Anymore.
It was not. And so, I think love, despite how you look or what you do, needs to be there in your heart for yourself, but also for the people around you that you trust. I think the people around you, they are so important, the group of people you trust, because they help you through different things, and they help you feel safe.
And there is
so you need
no
all of
point
that.
to remain in a relationship that doesn't bring you that love, that doesn't bring you satisfaction with each other, that doesn't bring you that true partnership that everyone wants to have when they're married.
Yeah, I think, well, that's my personal opinion. Everyone does as they want. I do not think you should be in a relationship and pretend.
For the sake of it.
I think life is too short, and life is beautiful, and there's beautiful people out there, and there's so many beautiful things to do that you don't need to waste your time and energy on people that don't deserve it or don't want it. Because why would you? And I think that is the decisions, that is how I live my life and how I raise my children as well, that you shouldn't be afraid.
It's very much self-destroying.
It is, because you're not respecting yourself. If you settle for something that makes you not happy, or you at home alone in the evening, but outside you are the perfect person and you have the perfect family and the perfect relationship, but it's all a scam. I think when you go home and everything is quiet, the noise is quiet of life and of other people and everything, and you are by yourself. I think as I did at some point before I got divorced, I was just crying out loud. I felt the loneliest I ever felt in my life at that time. When I knew what I was living wasn't a reality anymore. And I wanted it so bad. As a woman, I really wanted it. I said, I can make this work. One day more. Come on, Tessie, you can do it. But the reality was just the acceptance. The hard acceptance to say, no, you need to move on now. And don't be scared. It's going to be fine. It's going to be difficult, but it's going to be fine. You will come out much better and much happier.
Let it go.
Have faith.
Let yourself go.
Yes.
Have faith and move on. Because
Exactly.
yes, it takes, because you got married when you were very young. He's probably the first love of your life,
Yes.
and you didn't know any other life but being with your husband, with your partner. It is very hard to then suddenly lose all that and accept that and try to live without the only thing you're used to. It's very hard. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
And every woman has her own strength.
Yeah.
And this is the question I always ask all of my heroines. what is your strength as a woman? Your main strength, probably that you would say, yes, this is always
That
in the
always
back of
keeps
my
me
mind
straight.
and always keeps me straight and always keeps me going.
My kids, to be honest. I think it's very stereotypical
Motherhood.
to say
Motherhood.
I think it's stereotypical to say my children, because everyone would say that. But I really
Not
genuinely,
everyone, not everyone. You're actually
for
my first
me-
heroine who said
really?
that. Yes.
for me, that is what makes it all worthwhile. They are incredible, and they, you know, they say to me as well, Mama, what you do is amazing, and I love what you do. And they also say, you work so hard, Mama, and we can see it. We appreciate it. And I think for me, that is the most beautiful thing, and that's the most beautiful ambition one could have. If that you live your life to leave a legacy for your children.
And that when you are the role model for your children when they're young.
Exactly.
Because you are the closest. You are in their life every day, day in and day out.
Yes.
And if you are the role model and they're happy learning what you're doing and they're happy to receive that legacy and then do something about it and then do something about their life as amazing, as beautiful, as rewarding, then it means your job as a mother is done and done well.
Yes, well, that obviously my children they choose their own role models one day
As
at
they
a time.
grow up, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not perfect as well.
Oh,
Like,
no
as
one's
a mother,
perfect. And
as
that's the
well.
beauty of human nature.
Exactly. As a mother, and I think the mothers listening to this or looking at this will relate to it, that from time to time you just start crying out loud when the kids are in bed because you think, oh my goodness, I screwed it all up today. It's normal. You know, it's absolutely normal because it's just how life is. But if my kids can take, and if it's just one lesson that I learned away with them and learn from it and don't do the same mistakes, then everything I have done has been done for the right reasons. So, yeah, that is my life, and I love it.
С вами была Юлия Атласова и невероятная на матрешке.
Невероятные современницы.
Радио Матрёшка. Невероятные